Well, good day, Green Architecture. We are beginning Module 9, our final module in our time together here in Green Architecture class. As I've been talking about off and on throughout our time together, our final project is to create a house made out of shipping containers. So as we get started with our brand new module starting today, we see some ideas from shipping containers to a beautiful new home. And that's kind of what we're focusing on, is seeing how creative we can be to make a something as simple and seemingly useless as old stacked up shipping containers to a usable house that we could actually live in. So our objectives here, just go over that briefly. The architects and engineers use a design process when designing and building structures. So we're going to incorporate a design process. Shipping containers stack up as waste unless they are repurposed. They offer many benefits as construction materials that are strong, waterproof, pest-proof, recycled, easy to build with, and so on. And creating a functional and environmental friendly home is considered sustainable housing that could be adapted for emergency shelter in a disaster area. And basically, the things you're going to do is you will apply a design process to design a house made of shipping containers. You will apply elements of green building to a house that you design, and then you will also create a practical layout for a residential house. So here we are on November 19th as we kick off our project, and you are watching our intro video. A couple steps today to get us started. If you are a gold student or a distance learning student, I would ask you to take a couple minutes and look at this video, 5 minutes long, converting shipping containers to a livable and safe home. Okay? Take some time to watch it. If you are a blue group student, we watched this in class yesterday. Then all of you will need to watch a Edpuzzle video based on the design process, worth 10 points. Please take the time to watch that to answer a couple questions and identify what are the parts of the design process that we'll be applying. Read through the shipping container house PowerPoint. Okay, you can watch through that. Just click on the link here. That'll take you to the PowerPoint. I'm going to let you do that one on your own. Read through the design brief. In fact, I am going to take a couple minutes right here and read through this with you because it is super important. This is the breakdown of our project, and I want to make sure you get this, okay? Take a couple notes because you will be applying this a little bit later on today in your assignment for today. So, as we have a design process, the first step in the design process is to define the problem. That's what a design brief does. It defines the problem. What do we need to do? What are we trying to solve? Okay. So our client is Up North Cabin Creations. That's me. I'm your Up North Cabins Creations guy, right? Who's the designer? That's you. You are going to see a document similar to this, and you're going to fill it out with your information here. So here's our problem statement as we start to define the problem. There is a high demand in northern Minnesota for movable and seasonal cabins and homes. At the same time, there is an abundance of shipping containers in shipping ports near Lake Superior that are stacking up as waste. So, our design statement, what do we want to come out of this with? We want to utilize shipping containers to design a functional and environmentally friendly cabin or home that could qualify as a sustainable housing design. This next part, the constraints, you are going to have to add this to your assignment. So, as I read through these, would you please get your notebook out and take notes on each of these sections as you watch the video? The first one, you will need to use four 8-foot by 20-foot shipping containers. Four. And the size 8-foot by 20-foot. The next constraint, it must be a one-story design. Because we're beginning architectural designers, we're not going to get too carried away or crazy with our designs. We're going to create a one-story, one-level design. Our next constraint, your design, your home must include at least 2 bedrooms. You may have to refer back to your work as far as room sizes and relationships, approximately how big should these be? Well, they have to fit a bed and perhaps a dresser. Okay, so you might have to think about some of the things we've learned. It will have to include a 1 or 1.5 bathrooms, and think back to that same assignment. I believe we're activity 1.9. What's a 1 or 1.5 bath? Okay, what's a half bath? You might have to look at your notes on that. It must include a kitchen, a living room, and a dining room. If you create openings in the walls between the shipping containers, no larger than 8 feet for any of your openings. So openings no larger than 8 feet. All bedrooms must have a closet. So those are our 7 constraints. Hopefully you've taken some notes on that. You'll use this going forward. Our deliverables, what are you going to submit to me? Well, I've created a assignment in Schoology, which is basically a Google Slides, also known as a PowerPoint presentation, where you'll be inserting all of your work. Okay, so you'll use the information covered here to complete the design brief. That's part of today's assignment. The next day, we will start designing 3 different design sketch layouts, and I'll cover each of those, or cover that in class as we move forward. We'll use a decision matrix with justification. We'll explain that to you. We'll create a final design sketch with furniture, fixtures sketched in or added to that. And that will also be a scale drawing, a 1/4 inch equals 1 foot scale drawing. And finally, you'll make a SketchUp drawing that includes all of the requirements above here, your constraints. You'll include dimensions on that, names of rooms, and you'll add in your furniture and appliances. So that is your design brief, okay? And now let's jump back into our module. So we have just talked about the design brief. I also have a copy of it right here because you'll need some of that information to complete today's assignment. You'll complete the first 2 slides of the assignment, okay? To get started today, though, once you get done with this video, this intro video, you need to watch the design process PowerPoint video. Edpuzzle worth 10 points. That explains the design process as we go through each step. Today, we were doing step 1 of the design process, but you need to learn a little bit about that. What is step 1 through 6 as we work at designing this? Then, once you've done that, your assignment for today, you'll click into our assignment right here, and inside of Schoology, I have the assignment set up for you. I'm going to drag my picture off to the side here. And as we scroll down, I have a rubric in there. It tells you how I'm going to score you. The design brief that you're completing today is worth 5 points. You'll make some design sketches starting tomorrow. Those are worth 15 points. You'll then use something called the decision making matrix to decide which design from this area you will pursue to further develop. All right. Step 3 of the design process has you creating a final sketch, including all the required criteria. That is going to be at a 1/4 inch equals 1 foot scale. So hopefully you still have your architectural scale. Then you will create a CAD drawing in SketchUp. And finally, you'll communicate all of that in the document that is below, and that is right here. It's a shipping container house presentation. And what that amounts to is you'll see My Documents here. And I always encourage you to work in that as a full-blown Google Doc. So go to My Documents, which should be in this approximate area on your screen, and then go to the edit mode that appears in that area. And that should open you up into the shipping container project. Move me out of the way again here. So the first 2 slides is what you're going to do today. And at the bottom of each and every slide, I give you instructions what needs to be done. I'll give you a read through on the first 2, and then you can work through the rest yourself. In the black box, change the name of the text to your name. So it says student name here. You'll change that text to your name. Then you'll add a picture of a shipping container house right there. So go find a cool picture of a house that's made of shipping containers. You can use Google as your search for that. And then take a snip of it and insert it right in this area. Slide 2 is your design brief. All right, remember the design brief we talked about? Your client is me, Up North Cabin Creations. Who's the designer? You have to put your name in right there. And it tells you the instructions at the bottom. And you'll have to put in what are the design constraints. So you'll have to key in each one of these 7 from the notes that you've taken from the design brief. And that, my friends, is day 1. When you're all done, you will have completed all of these steps. You'll put a picture of your first design sketch, your second design sketch, your third design sketch. Here is the decision matrix that we briefly spoke about, and I'll teach you how to use that. Then you'll put a picture of your final sketch here and tell me why that is the one you're choosing to use. A picture of your SketchUp CAD model will go in here. You'll also be submitting your CAD model to me. I'll put a link into the module that tells you where to submit that. And finally, you've got some conclusion questions. There is your overview on the entire shipping container house project. I look forward to seeing your work. I look forward to giving you some more information how to go about this. And let's work through this together and let's finish our green architecture class strong together. And look forward to seeing you. Again, questions are always welcome. Shoot me an email if that's the case. And I'm not sure if I'll get to see you soon, but I'll get to see your work soon. I'm looking forward to that. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.